So Airbnb have issued out some new information yesterday. So I guess maybe they are just listening to us. Maybe they saw my rant. Oh my God, maybe I'm famous. No, I'm joking, I'm definitely not famous. Maybe they didn't see my rant. Maybe they did see my rant. Maybe they knew that I wasn't happy. I'm joking, they don't care. So I'm going to tell you what's happened. So if you watch my last video, which was talking about how much I thought Airbnb were out to kill me. Yes, I know it's quite dramatic, but in effect, eventually they were planning to kill me and run my business into the ground. So they've tried to make amends. Now, I don't know if it's good enough. I don't know if it's going to salvage our perception and how we feel about Airbnb, but at least they are trying. Hey, I'm not saying that me and them are still going to be friends. Absolutely not. But what I am saying is they've heard a few complaints and they're trying to do something about it. So I'm going to read you an article that I've just found today on TechCrunch that's talking about how Airbnb are trying to make amends. So it says Airbnb is committing £250 million to put towards hosts that have been impacted by the COVID-19. How about you should have thought about that a long time ago? What I don't like about this specific industry, it's that customers are always prioritized, if I said that word correctly, they're always put above the host. They're always put above the hotels, the service accommodation operators, the B&B operators, the hostels. It makes no sense. We're all in this piece of puzzle. We're all in this situation together. So I'm very disappointed because, as I said, I've got a lot of respect for Brian Chesky and the team. And I would have just thought that maybe you would consider this right from the beginning. Yes, you're going to try and rectify how we feel and our sentiments towards you, but hey, I think it might be a bit too late. So let me carry on. It says, Airbnb is committing to put $250 million towards hosts that have been impacted by the COVID-19. This means if a guest cancels a reservation for a check-in between March 14th and then the end of May, due to the COVID-19 reason, Airbnb will pay the host 25% of what they would normally receive through their cancellation policy. Airbnb says this policy will apply retrospectively to all cancellations during that period. Cool. 25%. Well, I can't complain because I did a video recently, sent it out, tagged Airbnb in it and said, hey, give us 10%, 20%, give us anything. So I guess them offering 25% is a lot better than what I was asking for. But in reality, okay, cool. I mean, I guess we'll have to take 25%. Doesn't mean you've done fair by us, because 25% has no bearing on paying towards any of our costs, to be completely open and honest with you. But again, the reason I'm bringing this up is, look, no matter what happens, these are companies we all look up to. These are companies that inspire us as entrepreneurs to get off our backsides and to work really hard. Because hey, if Airbnb is a £1 billion company, then hey, do you know what? We stand a chance of being able to change our lives and create a significant income and go off to be millionaires and billionaires, all inspired by you guys. So you've got to watch how you behave and how you treat your own customers. You've got to watch You've got to watch the perception. You've got to watch the way you behave, because that's the things, and these are the lessons that we're going to learn. And you're going to say, well, that's not how a business should behave. Well, we're learning from you guys. If you're not looking after all your stakeholders and you're now coming back later because there's been a lot of hoo-ha and it's been very unfair on the people who provide you with a important part of your business model, then you've got to start thinking about these things right from the beginning. So it says, this is a TechCrunch article. It says this is Airbnb's ways of making amends with its host, which may have felt blindsided by Airbnb's policy that would enable guests to cancel reservations and receive a full refund. Look, that came with a smack in the face. Nobody was expecting this. No one thought Airbnb would do something as crazy as that. So yes, I know a lot of people, including many of my students and clients, that were smashed in the face, and they were looking up to me saying, TJ, so what do we do now? And the truth is, the only answer I could give was, hey, I don't know. I'm going through this myself. All I can do is carry on researching, and let's find ways to mitigate our risk and protect our properties. So it says this policy that is still active lets guests who book reservations on or before March the 14th to cancel and receive a full refund or travel credit. So this is Airbnb's statement. We determined that we had to allow guests to cancel and receive a full refund, including all of our fees. That doesn't make sense, Brian. That makes no sense, Brian. Brian says, including our fees. Mate, let's not get started, because initially you were not going to refund your fees as well. So let's not get into that one, mate. So it says to receive a full refund, including our fees. Mate, if you're going to refund the customers, we're not allowing you to keep your fee. If we're all in this together, we're all going down together. So Airbnb CEO Brian Chesky wrote a letter to host today. Please know this decision was not a business decision, but based on protecting public health. BS. Utter BS. Come on, Brian, we know that's a pile of crap. It was a business decision. You prioritize your customers over the host. Now there's been a lot of backlash, and you realize that, look, there are alternatives to Airbnb, mate, and it was never going to work in your favor. So this is what I'm reading his letter. It says, please know this decision was not a business decision, but based on protecting public health. Okay, however, while I believe we did the right thing in prioritizing health and safety, I'm sorry that we communicated that decision to guests without consulting you first. That's what you call a leader. Well done. That's what we've been looking for. That's what we are looking for. We are looking for people like you that we've all looked up to, that's inspired every single one of us to get into this business, that's changed all our lives by giving us an additional income. This is the sort of leadership we're looking for. Yes, you messed up. Yes, you... So I accept that. I accept that. It says, I'm sorry, cool, that we communicated this decision to guests without consulting you. Of course. Could you say, hey, we're partners. Hey, we're business associates. Then shouldn't you run your decisions past us, or at least tell us first so we could make preparations first? It says, check this part. I hadn't even read this yet. It said, I'm sorry we communicated that decision to guests without consulting you like partners should. We have heard from you. I think they heard from TJ. I think they heard from me. It says, we have heard from you, and we know we could have been better partners. Of course you could have. So they've created this fund. Airbnb is creating a fund for its super host and experienced host. Yeah, and okay, employees contributed the first $1 million. Cool. Well done. And Airbnb co-founders Joe, Brian, and Nate are personally providing the other $9 million. Cool. Beginning in April, hosts can apply for grants up to $5,000. Cool. I think they've learned a big, massive lesson on how to treat all your customers, how to treat your stakeholders. I think they've got to understand that there is no stakeholder. I think they've got to understand that no stakeholder ranks above anyone else. And I think that's a lesson that they've learned. And yeah, do I accept his apology? Of course I accept his apology, because at the end of the day, what can I do? So I accept your apology, Brian. Do I think you're doing enough? I think it's the start of something, just like how the UK government is. They're changing their mind every single second, and they are adapting. So again, this grant that they're offering might go up to 10,000, might go up to 15,000, but it depends how much money Airbnb actually have in the bank. So again, yeah, make more noise, guys. Tweet them, Facebook them, Instagram them, LinkedIn them, get in their faces, because I think if enough of us didn't do this, then there would have been no progression. So again, make sure, as I said, if you feel treated unjustly, if you feel like they're taking a mick or taking a piss, then yeah, get in touch with them. So let me find another article. So the title of that specific one that I just read on TechCrunch was Airbnb will pay hosts $250 million to cover cancellations due to COVID-19. So yeah, it's something they should have done earlier on either way. So yes, I do forgive them, but as I said, they could have done significantly better. So guys, look, I hope that brings you a little bit of consolation. I hope it kind of adds a little bit more money into your pockets. And I hope it's kind of a softer blow. But as I said, at this moment, we've got to take what we can, and we'll go from there. I was listening to something recently in discussion with one of my business partners who's also in the same business as me, and he runs things on a larger scale, and he's been hit significantly. And he read an article somewhere. So again, this is just hearsay, so I've got to say allegedly. There are discussions that maybe Airbnb might be sued. Maybe that's not the right word, but they might be forced maybe at some point later to refund every single person, every single host that was affected by COVID-19, that they cancelled the reservations. So let me say it in a better way. Supposedly, allegedly, there's some discussion that maybe after this whole COVID-19 situation is done, because there's such a big community of us, there might be a few people that are considering suing Airbnb because of how they dealt with the situation and the loss of business and so and so and so. But again, I will bring you more information when I hear more about that. Have a fantastic day. Catch you soon.